Hi everyone, Jeff here at BZ Motors. Today we're going to be having a look at this 2016 Dodge Challenger. Alright, let's check this car out. You got some nice daytime running LED rings around the headlights, as well as your nice RT badge. You got fog lights, 20-inch rims. The back you got dual exhaust pipes. I see you got backup sensors, as well as your backup camera. Very nice looking vehicle. Let's hop on the inside and check out some of the features. Got keyless entry. Turn down the AC a little bit so it's not so noisy. Let's start over here, go left from right. We've got automatic headlights, our push for fog lights. That would put us on our parking lights, and then manual on mode. I usually just leave them on auto because that works best. Over here you have your dimmers and your trunk open button. We've got power mirrors, power locks, power windows, one push down. Very nice. Looking here at the steering wheel, over on this side here we've got our controls for our vehicle information center between our two dials up here. Our hands-free calling buttons, our cruise control, as well as our paddle shifters. This has a nice leather wrapped steering wheel. I really like that. Let's have a look at what the information center here will show us if we scroll through the menus. Right now we're on our average fuel economy, our trip info, our audio, which we can bring up what radio channel we're on, whether it's XM, FM, AM, as well as if you have a media device plugged in, you can view that information up here as well. Our stored messages such as low tire pressure, low fuel, our screen setup, our speedometer that can go from miles per hour to kilometers an hour, and this is my favorite one. This is our vehicle information. So starting here, it'll start with the tire pressure monitors, our coolant temp, which is important, our trans temp, oil temp, oil pressure, our oil life, our battery voltage, our air intake temp, our engine torque, and our engine power. And then we're back to our tire pressure. This is another cool screen. This is for your performance. This calculates your reaction time and your 0 to 100 miles per hour. This next one is an 1/8 of a mile timer, 1/4 mile timer, our braking distance, our G-force, which is real time, and then our peak G-force, which would basically show when we're going into a corner how much G-force we're pulling going around a turn. Pretty cool. Our lap timer, and then this will basically log all of our lap times. You can see 1 through 5. We obviously haven't been driving on the track, but this will basically keep track of, you know, if you were at the track and testing this vehicle out, what your increase or decrease in track time as you go around. So that's pretty cool. And our top speed. Now we're back to our fuel economy. So I think we've gone over all this info. And of course we have our RPMs and our speed. Moving along here to our radio here, we'll start on the radio. We've got AM, FM satellite radio. If we click media, we can actually put in either an iPod, media device via auxiliary, USB, Bluetooth, or even we can load our music on an SD card and bring up our tracks in individual folders, which is pretty nice. Here we have our controls for our mirror dimmer. We can hit this button here just to turn off the screen if it becomes a distraction at nighttime. Just hit the screen off button. Back to our controls. We've got heated and vented seats, which I personally like. Right now it's 79 degrees out. You can see here in beautiful Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. The heated seats is definitely a nice touch. Our heated steering wheel is just, we push that, when it's lit up red, our heated steering wheel is on. And then we have the passenger controls for the same thing. With our apps, we have a few different things. We've got AHA, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Slacker, radio, and settings, and a few other things. We can go into our performance pages, which we'll check out a little bit later. We've got a Wi-Fi hotspot, travel link through SiriusXM. Let's go back here. And a few other things. Now this screen is our climate control, which we can control the heated seats, cooled seats, heated steering wheel. This has got dual climate control, so the passenger can choose their temp as well as the driver, so everyone can be comfortable. Fan speed, we can sync them up so they're the same temp. Turn it off. I'm going to leave it on because it's so stinking hot. We got front and rear defrosters and auto mode, which is basically like a thermostat. It'll auto adjust the fan speed to keep it nice and cool. This one in particular does have navigation, and it does have a very nice animated map, which I really like in this Uconnect system. This screen here is for our phone. We can reply with text message. We can dial new phone calls. We can save our favorites up here. Mute, transfer call, and a few other things. So that all can be controlled. Not all of it, but you can pick up, hang up, and also if you have Siri, you can turn Siri on by holding on the voice command button here. So not only can we control our climate controls from up here on the radio, we have actual hard buttons down here as well. So our fan speed, our temp for either side, and front and rear defrosters. Just above that, we have some of our radio controls. Mute, we turn this for volume, and also our browse, enter, and scroll mode. This here is our parking sensor turn off, which will basically stop the beeping. Now one thing I want to show you is if I put it in reverse, and even if I turn off that parking sensor, up here it will display, so here we can see it'll display how close we're getting to the vehicle behind us. It's pretty nice. Back over here we have our sport mode and our super track pack, which is what I want to go over next. When I hit that button down here, it brings up this screen here, which we have a few different sport modes that we can choose from. We've got our launch control mode, and we can set our RPM where we want to launch from. That's pretty neat. So if I set it to that, it'll bring up the RPMs to that point, and we can launch from that RPM. Here we have our drive mode setup, where we can actually adjust a few different things within this sport mode. Our engine and transmission, we can toggle from normal to sport. Our paddle shifters here on the steering wheel, we can toggle on and off. Our traction control in normal mode or sport mode. Sport mode is going to be a little bit more reserved with engaging traction control. And our steering, which is pretty cool. Comfort is going to have little resistance in the steering, so if you're cruising down the highway, you want it to be real comfortable and easy to turn the wheel, or rather, if you're sitting still, you want it to be easy to turn the wheel, but you don't want it to be easy to jerk maybe at highway speeds, and you can adjust that steering. Now the sport mode is going to make things a little bit more stiffer, a little bit more feedback through the steering wheel itself. Okay, very cool feature on this. Now not only do we have the paddle shifters up here, if we bring it back into drive mode, we can see it's displayed on the actual shifter what gear we're in. In drive mode, another way we can manually shift this car is pushing it over and moving the shifter forward and back. In fact, it even displays what gear we're in right here in the driver information center. It's our first, second. Move back into park so we don't go anywhere. We've got push to start. Of course, our keyless entry key fob, which is very nice. Our trunk open, we can actually open the trunk with 2 clicks of this button here, lock and unlock and panic. This has a premium Alpine audio system. A really nice interior. I have nothing bad to say about the interior on this car. It's a combination of leather here on the sides, and in the inside here it's cloth that's perforated, which makes those cooled seats work real nice. Get a glimpse of the back seats here. If we look here in the center console, I was saying earlier about the USB auxiliary and the SD card. You actually can put in here for your media. You also have a 12-volt adapter for accessories. Very nice soft feel to the interior if you're on a long trip. If I was resting my elbows on this while holding the steering wheel, it wouldn't irritate them at all for some time. It's a very soft feel. I really like the interior on this. One thing I don't think we looked at yet is the trunk space. We'll have a look here at the glove box quick too. Little cubby compartments that are separated up top there, as well as a spot for our manual and everything else that is lockable. Oh, up here I think I forgot something too. This is your garage door opener. You can actually program your push button garage door opener to your vehicle, so you don't have to carry around your little clicker that comes with your garage door. And up here we have a nice little compartment for our shades. So let's have a look at the trunk real quick. We'll open that by pressing this button over here. Fair amount of space here in the trunk. Let's look to see what we have under here. Our spare tire and our battery. I think that about wraps up this video of the 2016 Dodge Challenger. This one has a Hemi. I don't know if I mentioned that before. It's got the big old Hemi in it. So thanks for having a look, and have a great day.